Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we have started new repertory, that is Boger, Boninucens, characteristics, materia medica, and repertory. The name of this Boger's repertory was Boninucens, characteristics, materia medica, and repertory with word index. So, which was written by Dr. C. M. Boger, and we discussed about all these introductory part in yesterday's lecture, that how Dr. Boger get convinced with or get impressed by the principles of Dr. Boninucen, and how he write down his own index of symptoms. In short, we will revise it that Dr. C. M. Boger, Dr. Cyrus Maxwell Boger, he was a leading practitioner and prominent homeopathic physician of USA. He was born in Western Peninsula, son of Cyrus and Isabelle Maxwell Boger. Then he completed his elementary education in public school of Lebanon. He completed his graduation in pharmacy from Philadelphia College of Pharmacy, in medicine from Hahnemann Medical College of Philadelphia. Then he settled in Parkersburg in 1888. During his long practice and career in medical practice and research, Dr. Boger contributed a lot by his writings and successful treatment of incurable cases. It is said that patients used to report to him from various parts of USA because of his ability to prescribe right medicine even in incurable cases marked with common symptoms. As he was practicing, he became a very well-known, a very successful physician, homeopath, and due to his success especially in incurable cases, many patients from various parts of USA, they approach him, they report him for different type of cases because of his ability to prescribe, to select right medicine even in incurable cases which are marked with common symptoms. His first daughter died young, then second marriage, 4 sons and 5 daughters, lost 3 sons and 1 daughter. His third marriage with secretary and constant helper, that is Anna M. Boger. He died on 2nd September 1935 at the age of 74. He died from food poisoning after eating a tin of home pressured tomatoes. There are many contributions of Dr. Boger to homeopathy, as he was a successful leading homeopathic practitioner. His experience was very good, as well as he was writing many literature, many books. Out of those, his Boger's Synoptic Key, then Boger-Bonning-Hussein's characteristic repertory, the times of the remedies and moon phases, then Bonning-Hussein's antisorics, general analysis with card repertory, bogus diphtheria, homeopathic therapeutics, studies in homeopathic philosophy of healing, collected works of Boger, which the editor of it was Robert Bannon. So these are his contributions to the homeopathy. Then his translation of the original repertory of antisorics, he completed it in 1900. Then Bonning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory, it was completed, published in 1905. Synoptic key of To Materia Medica, it was published in 1928. Times of remedies and moon phases, it was completed in 1906. Dr. C. M. Boger was a leading practitioner of United States in early part of 20th century. As we know that he was a leading successful practitioner in the United States of America in early part of 20th century. He was student and follower of Dr. Bonning-Hussein. In 1900, he translated repertory of antisorics. In his time, both Bonning-Hussein and Kentian schools were popular, as I told yesterday. Boger made a study of both, but he accepted Bonning-Hussein's way of working out of a case. He observed that persons using Bonning-Hussein's work have to be depend upon the faulty translations of repertory of antisoric remedies, and so he started to translate the repertory of antisoric remedies. His work was started and it completed in 1900. And while translating that repertory, during the process of translation work, he got acquainted with Bonning-Hussein's basic principles, plan and constructions, comprehensibility and practicability. He liked the basic principles of Dr. Bonning-Hussein. He liked plan construction of Bonning-Hussein's repertory, its comprehensibility and its practicability. Then Bonning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory was published by Borick and Tafel in 1905 in German language. Second Indian edition published in 1952 and third edition in 1972. This work is condensation of all Bonning-Hussein's work into a single volume. So all Bonning-Hussein's work was condensed in a single volume in BBCR. There is 140 remedy in Materia Medica along with the repertory. As in the last lecture we discussed that the name itself indicate that there is Materia Medica and repertory part. So Bonning-Hussein's characteristics, Materia Medica and repertory, this was the name of repertory. So it indicates that there are first parties of Materia Medica, and in that about 140 remedies are explained well in Materia Medica part by Dr. Boger. Then the second part is repertory proper. This repertory was published in 1905. And why Dr. Boger he felt need to publish this repertory? Because in the second half of the 19th century, Moning Hussein's work was of great importance, but later when Kant's repertory came, it receded to the backstage and all his work was overlooked. Finally, Boger brought it back to life by refining and enriching the fundamentals and recasting the structure and methodology. When the repertories get published one by one, as the first repertory which was published, the name of that repertory was Repertory of Antisoric Medicines Remedies, which was published in 1832, and it was written by Dr. Moning Hussain. And after that, one by one, many repertories they get published, and at that time, these repertories of Moning Hussein's, as they are very useful in clinics, so it was used by Dr. Hahnemann himself, Dr. Moning Hussain, and many other homeopaths in their clinic for reference. But after publication of many repertories, later on Dr. Kent, he write down his own index of symptom, and after publication of Kent's repertory, as it contains large number of rubrics, large number of medicines as compared to Moning Hussein's work, and the plan construction of Kent's repertory, it is easy to find out the rubrics. So Moning Hussein's work, it get receded the backstage and it was overlooked by many homeopaths. So when Dr. Boger he start or he go through all literatures, he go through all repertories, and when he liked the principles of Dr. Moning Hussain, then he brought Moning Hussein's work back to life by refining and enriching the fundamentals and recasting the structure and methodology. Because though his principles are, according to his principle, there are some lacunas in constructing the repertory. So Dr. Boger, he tried to overcome all these lacunas. Now, which are the sources of BBCR? The sources of BBCR are Moning Hussein's Therapeutic Pocketbook, Repertory of Osorics, Repertory of Antisoric Remedies, then Sides of the Body, Repertory Part of Intermittent Fever, Whooping Cough, Aphorisms of Hippocrates. So these are the sources of Moning Hussein's Therapeutic Pocketbook. Then we go one by one how the repertory it was constructed. So first, while constructing this repertory, mainly Boger tried to modify structure and content of the BTPB by adding many medicines and rubrics from his own experience and other sources. As I told you, he added many rubrics, many medicines in Moning Hussein's work, and he modified those repertories with his experience as well as the other 6 sources than therapeutic pocketbook. Then while compiling his index of symptom, Dr. Boger, he followed the basic construction of Boning-Hussein's repertory of antipsoric medicines. As he was translating that repertory of antipsoric medicines, so he followed the basic plan and construction of that Boning-Hussein's repertory of antipsoric medicines. So as each repertory is divided into different parts, how this repertory it was constructed. So this repertory is also having 3 main parts. First part is philosophical part, then second part is repertory part, and the third part is concordance part. So in first part of this book, philosophical part, there is again 3 subsections. First one is introductory part, then second one is preface, and the third is Boning-Hussein's characteristic materia medica part. As we have just now seen that there are 140 remedies in materia medica part. So in this way, in the first philosophical part of this book, it contained an introductory part, then preface to this book, and then Boning-Hussein's characteristics materia medica part, which contain about 140 remedies. Then the second part of this book is repertory proper or repertory part, and the third part of this book is concordance section or concordance. It was nothing but the relationship of remedy, and in this relationship of remedy he used about 125 remedies or medicines. As in Boning-Hussein's therapeutic pocket book, in concordance section, Dr. Boning-Hussein used about 121 medicines in this concordance section, in this relationship of remedy section. As Dr. Boger, he added some remedies in this concordance section in BBCR, and so in this repertory, Boger-Boning-Hussein's characteristic repertory, there are 125 remedies in concordance section. Now we go one by one how the repertory was constructed. In the first part of this repertory, that is philosophical part, first introductory part was given, then second preface proper. In this preface, on the use of repertories, choosing the remedy, that is totality of symptom, the repetition of the dose, homeopathic prognosis, it was explained very well under different headings, as I told just now, that is on the use of repertories, then choosing the remedy, totality of symptom, repetition of the dose, and the homeopathy prognosis. So in this way, the preface, it was under preface, these 4 points are given in the first philosophical part. Then the second part is repertory, as well as, sorry, after this preface, the materia medica part was given under philosophical part, and in materia medica there are 140 remedies which are useful for easy reference of materia medica after repertorization. Then it comes the second part of this book, that is repertory part. Is it clear how the repertory was constructed? Yes, it was constructed mainly into three parts. First part is philosophical part, then repertory part, and then concordance part. In the first introductory philosophical part, there are, again it is divided into three subparts. First one is introductory part, then preface. In that, first given preface proper, then on the use of repertories, then choosing the remedy, that is totality of symptom, then repetition of dose, then the repetition of dose, and then homeopathic prognosis of the case. Then the third subpart, that is materia medica part, which include about 140 remedies and which are useful for easy reference of materia medica after repertorization. Then the second part, that is repertory proper. So the basic plan and construction of this repertory is in this repertory proper part. In this repertory part, there are 53 sections and they are arranged. They started from mind section and end on conditions of aggravation and amelioration in general. So the sections are mind, sensorium, vertigo, head, internal, then external, then eyes, in eyes, eyebrows, orbits, eyelids, anthi, and vision. All these rubrics related to all these parts they are mentioned. Then ears, in that hearing, then nose section, in that smell and coryza related rubrics are given. Then face, under it lips, lower jaw and maxillary joint related rubrics are given. Then teeth, gums, mouth, under mouth section, palate, then appetite section, thirst, then taste, then eructation, then water brush or heartburn, then hiccough, then nausea and vomiting section, after that stomach section, then epigastrium, then hypochondria, abdomen, external abdomen, inguinal and pubic region, flatulence, stool, anus and rectum, perineum, prostate gland, urine, urinary organs, genitalia, in that male organs and female organs related rubrics are given. Then sexual impulse, menstruation, respiration, cough, larynx and trachea, voice and speech, neck and external throat, chest, back, upper extremities, lower extremities, sensation and complaints in general, glands, bones, skin and exterior body, then sleep, dreams, fever, under fever section, chill, heat and fever in general, sweat related rubrics are given under fever section, then compound fever section, then conditions in general, and last one is conditions of aggravation and conditions of amelioration in general. So in this way these 53 sections are arranged. It started from mind section and end on conditions of aggravation and amelioration in general. Then it comes the third part of repertory, that is concordance section or relationship of remedy section. In this section about 125 remedies are included in this section, and it was arranged same like as it was arranged in Boning-Hussein's therapeutic pocket book. Only some few remedies it was added in this section. So what is there in relationship of remedy section in BTPB? Yes. What is there in relationship of remedy section? Anyone? So the relationship of remedy, this concept was also first time introduced by Dr. Boning-Hussein to homeopathy, and every remedy takes the attribute of other remedy to some extent, and it was especially with polycrest remedies. When we identify any object, then or any while identification or while individualization, while finding out the proper symptoms, we require the application of principle of generalization and individualization, then principle of similarity and dissimilarity, principle of analysis and synthesis, and on these principles this relationship of remedy was evolved, and there are different relationship of remedies it was given. It was already discussed about this section in therapeutic file when we go through the therapeutic pocket book. We discuss in detail about this section, that in this section different relationship between remedies, that is antidotal, compatible, complementary, inimical, which remedies are followed after first prescription, which is followed by first prescription, then similar remedies, comparative remedies, incompatible remedies. It was given in relationship of remedy section, and also the duration of action of each remedy it was also given, so that it is very much helpful for us to find out how much the duration of action of that remedy was, so that if there is need we can able to repeat the dose. And this relationship of remedy, it is studied very well from drug study, and this is the most useful section from BTPB. So it was taken by Dr. Boger, and as we all know, Dr. Kent, he was a great critic of Dr. Boni Hussein's principle. He was great critic of his method of repertorization, which he advocated previously. But then also, as this section, this concordance section, this relationship of remedy section, from this section Dr. Kent, he also get very much impressed, and he felt that this section is very useful. So in his later editions, it was included in Kent repertory also. This section was included in Kent repertory. And this concordance section is divided into different sections. Which different sections? Which are devoted to remedy in alphabetical order. In the concordance of all sections of therapeutic pocket book, it is represented, and harmonious relation of the remedy to others is given under each section. Each remedy section, which is subdivided into rubrics, as are all the general sections in the book. If you go to this concordance section of any repertory, especially BTPB, then you can able to understand how this section was arranged. So in this section, in this chapter, there is a proper arrangement of all these things, all the relationships of remedy, and it is very intellectual work, laborious work, and it is based on original proving, so it is very much reliable also. And so this work was very much helpful for the further prescriptions. Till today also it was useful, it was used in clinics, and so till the new report, as the new repertories they are get published, many of these homeopaths they added in their repertory this section. So in this way, in this repertory, in plan and construction of this repertory, there are main three parts of this repertory, that is philosophical part, repertory part, and concordance part. Once again I revise all these things. Philosophical, under philosophical part there is introductory part, then preface. In that, first preface proper, then on the use of repertories, the repetition of the dose, the preface proper, then on the use of repertory, then choosing the remedy, then the repetition of the dose, and homeopathic prognosis. So it was given after one by one. And then the materia medica part, it was included. after the preface part. In Materia Medica part, there are about 140 remedies which are explained very well. Then in repertory part, there are 53 subsections in repertory part. As I told you in yesterday's lecture that you should know the comparison between Kent repertory, BTPB and BBCR, because there may the question get asked related to comparison between BBCR, BTPB or Kent BTPB or all these three repertories. What is the difference between philosophical background? What is the difference between totality of symptom? What is the difference between concordance section? So all of you, sorry, you should know about all these three repertories in that way also. So how many sections are there in Kent repertory? How many sections are there in BTPB? How many sections are there in BBCR? Then which parts of Kent repertory, that book which was written by Dr. Kent, how many parts are there? Then Morningson's Therapeutic Pocket Book, that book is having how many parts? This Morningson's Characteristics and Repertory, this book is having how much part, how many parts, and which are those? Then in this repertory part, there are 53 sections. It starts from mind and it ends on conditions of aggravations and ameliorations in general. Then the last part of this repertory is concordance. In concordance section, there are 125 remedies. So it was many times it get asked in the previous exams also, which are the sources of BBCR. It was asked